All of the events you are about to see actually happened, as shown. Sort of.
In 1860, Charles and Caroline Ingalls were married in Concord, Wisconsin. In 1865, Mary Amelia Ingalls was born in Pepin, Wisconsin.
Laura Ingalls Wilder was born in Pepin, Wisconsin on February 7, 1867.
In 1869, Ma and Pa Ingalls and the girls moved to the Indian Territory in Kansas. 1870, Caroline Celestia Ingalls, or Carrie, was born in Montgomery County, Kansas. May of 1871, the Ingalls family was forced by troops from Kansas and returned to Pepin, Wisconsin.
Her and her family moved to Walnut Grove, Minnesota in 1874, then moving to Burr Oak, Iowa in 1876.
In 1875, Charles Frederick Ingalls, or Freddie, was born in Walnut Grove, Minnesota. Unfortunately, in 1876, Freddie died at only 9 months old. In 1877, Grace Pearl Ingalls was born in Burr Oak, Iowa. In 1878, the Ingalls family moved to Walnut Grove again.
In 1879, they moved to South Dakota where her parents died. At the age of 15, she got her teaching certificate. She taught 12 miles from her home in South Dakota.
In February of 1879, Mary became blind after a fever. In September, they all moved to a railroad shanty in De Smet, South Dakota.
In 1885, on August 25th, she married Almanzo Wilder. She quit teaching to help out on the farm. In 1886, they had a daughter, Rose.
In the spring of 1888, Almanzo and Laura have diphtheria. That August, Laura and Almanzo's baby boy dies at only 12 days old. In 1889, the house that Almanzo built burns down.
In 1894, the Wilder family settled in Mansfield, Missouri at their family farm, which they called Rocky Ridge.
In 1902, Charles Ingalls, or Laura's father, dies in De Smet, South Dakota. While living on Rocky Ridge Farm, Rose writes Let the Hurricane Roar in the 1920s. In 1924, Caroline Ingalls, or Ma, dies in De Smet, South Dakota. In October of 1928, Laura's sister Mary dies at Carrie's home in Keystone, South Dakota. From 1932 to 1940, Little House in the Big Woods, Farmer Boy, Little House on the Prairie, On the Banks of Plum Creek, By the Shores of Silver Lake, and The Long Winter were published. In 1941, Laura's sister Grace dies in De Smet, South Dakota. In 1943, Little Town on the Prairie and These Happy Golden Years were published. In June of 1946, Laura's sister Carrie dies in Rapid City, South Dakota. Almanzo Wilder dies in 1949 in Mansfield, Missouri. And at the age of 90, just 3 days after her 90th birthday, Laura Ingalls Wilder dies in Mansfield, Missouri.